Knots, ropes, and sand. Here's the secret behind how we measure speed at sea. Have you ever wondered why ships and airplanes measure speed in knots instead of miles per hour or kilometers per hour? It may sound like a strange term today, but the story behind it goes back hundreds of years, to the great age of sailing, when mariners had to cross vast oceans using only simple tools, experience, and careful observation. Back then, sailors faced a major problem. When a ship was out in the middle of the ocean, there were no road signs, no fixed markers, and no modern instruments to tell them how fast they were moving. But speed mattered a lot. A ship's speed helped sailors estimate how far they had traveled, how long it would take to reach their destination, and whether winds or currents were pushing them off course. To solve this problem, sailors developed a clever tool known as the chip log. The chip log was a simple but effective device. It used a small piece of wood, attached to a long rope called a log line. Along that rope, sailors tied knots at regular intervals. This simple setup became one of the earliest practical ways to measure speed at sea. Here's how it worked. The wooden board was dropped over the back of the ship into the sea. Because of its shape, it stayed nearly still in the water while the ship moved forward. As the ship sailed away, the rope connected to the board began to unroll behind it, giving sailors a way to judge how fast the vessel was moving through the water. At the same time, a sailor would flip a small sandglass, usually measuring only a short amount of time. While the sand ran, other sailors counted how many knots passed through their hands. When the sand ran out, they stopped counting. The number of knots that passed during that timed interval gave them the ship's speed. This method may seem primitive today, but it was actually a smart and practical solution for its time. The spacing of the knots and the length of the timing interval were carefully chosen so that the final count matched the ship's speed in a useful navigational unit. Over time, this method became more standardized, and the term knot became an official unit of speed. Today, 1 knot means 1 nautical mile per hour. A nautical mile is different from the mile used on land. It is based on the Earth's geometry, especially the planet's lines of latitude and longitude. That makes it far more useful for navigation across the ocean and even through the skies. That is why the term knot survived long after the age of sail. Even today, modern ships, naval vessels, and aircraft still measure speed in knots because it fits perfectly with nautical charts, global coordinates, and navigation systems. So the next time you hear a ship traveling at 20 knots, remember, you're hearing a term born from rope, wood, sand, and centuries of maritime history. Please subscribe to this channel to get more interesting facts like these.